What's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? And I thank you for coming to Survive and Protect. I want to thank everybody who's been following the Facebook page, everybody who's been checking the Survive and Protect on Instagram and YouTube. We have about 50 followers on Facebook, and I want to make it 150 this time around. So you guys share the videos to your page, share it to other family and friends, people you think will benefit from this information. And you guys watching on YouTube, I want y'all to start subscribing to the channel and tell your friends and family about the YouTube page if you guys are watching it from YouTube. All right. And of course, definitely follow on Instagram. All right. Now this is going to be a case study today. And this video is out of an incident that occurred in Brooklyn, New York. There was a guy who was said to be going around and pointing a gun at people as he was walking around the streets, but it was later found that that gun was actually a pipe in his hand. He was known in the neighborhood to have be mentally ill. People knew him in the neighborhood. They knew who he was. And so there was a big issue because the police shot this man because they thought he had a gun in his hand. All right. So I won't get into the controversy of what's going on with the case, but I wanted to do this case study to be able to get some good takeaways, some good and bad things that you can possibly learn from it in regards to being security minded. All right. Self-protection minded. All right. So what I'm going to do is play the video. And when the video finishes, it's about 2 minutes. It's, from what I understand, there's been some edits in the video. So like I said, I'm going to play the video. It's roughly about 2 minutes long. And then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to do some case study commentary on the video. All right. See you in a minute. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a second look at this video and see what we can take away from this. All right, this guy's kind of caught by surprise. Now, watch him as he walks up to two other people. They could have got shot if it was a real gun, right? He pointed at somebody else as he walked away. And here he is again. This is him right here. All right. Alrighty. Okay, here's something. I'm gonna stop and pause real quick. down here, you're going to see the gentleman's going to be in a backpack, and then pay attention to these two as well. Over here, over in that area, let me see, let me go back. The guy is going to be here in the backpack right there. And then you see there's two women, I think, one there, and then there's one on the other side, walking in the opposite direction of the guy in the backpack. All right. Their back is turned from the guy with the pipe in his hand. So they have no clue of what's going on. All right. But the guy with the backpack that's going to be walking towards the guy with the pipe, he has more of a better view to see what's going on. But as you'll see here in a second, he's not paying much attention until the guy's just right up on him. Then I believe at some point, I don't think this lady here has noticed anything, but this gentleman here has. But you see in a moment, his reaction might be a little bit too slow, or he hasn't communicated with the lady here to let her know, like, hey, you need to go in a little bit faster. And so you'll see the result of that right now. All right, at the last second. And then the two ladies, always a guy and a lady, the one with the pink on, and then the guy with the brown jacket. So now you see the guy in the black, he kind of figures something going on, but he's kind of late, as you see in the video. All right. And let me stop the video very quick again. Now, in this part of the video, I believe it's two children as far as I'm concerned. One is a little bit older, and this might be the brother or little sister. I think it's an older brother and a younger brother. And you can definitely see that they weren't particularly taught anything in regards to personal security. So they're just going to go on their way, and then it's going to be something else kind of important. Let me go back a little bit. There's one thing I need to mention right over here. All right, right there. All right. Being that this guy right here, he's seen from a distance a little bit that this gentleman here was coming, but his reactions were a little bit too slow. And like I said, had his reaction been a little bit quicker, or he might have told the lady, and I think the lady might have seen the guy coming too. And so they hurried up to try to run in the store, but this guy right here was a little bit too slow in going into the store. Now, another thing is to look at the distance between him and the gun, right? Well, I'm saying gun, but it was a pipe in his hand. But let's just say it was a gun. Look at the distance. Is this guy right here within arm's length from this guy, from where the gun is? I'll let you guys be a judge of that. There's a reason why I say that, but before I'm gonna hold off before I mention anything about it and continue with the video. All right. And here comes the two kids, and Saheed is pointing it at them, and their reaction is little to none. The little kid in the red, kind of ducked a little bit. And let me say something about that as well. We all have in us, and since birth, or since we were being born, we have this instinct within us. I'll use the word instinct, that anything that becomes a threat and our minds perceive it as an immediate threat, we all respond in a similar way. We hunch our bodies. Sometimes our hands will come up to protect the more vital areas. That's just a natural instinct that everybody has. All right. As you've seen with the kid here, he ducked a little bit, and that's one of those natural reactions. Let me go back a little bit. That is a natural reaction that's kind of embedded within all of us as humans. All right. A little bit further back. All right. Right here. And he ducks a little bit, as you've seen there. So we all have an inherent ability embedded in us to protect ourselves, and most times it's just merely ducking, kind of quick bobbing out the way, maybe raising our hands instinctively lift up and block our vital areas, which would be the head, because your brain, you have to think, and your eyes and your throat. All right. So, and that's pretty much all the little kid did. But again, here's another incident, just like I mentioned a little bit earlier with the older guy with the black jacket on. Look how close in proximity he is with the pipe in his hand. And here's his hand right here. All right. There are some options if he knew how to, if the kid was taught a little bit about personal protection, he could have, if he was more aware of his surroundings, and we'll get to that at the end of the video, there's some things that he could have done. He could have took the child over and brought the child to the right side of him, right? To kind of get the child out the harm's way. Some other things is that if he knows some more about personal security, he could have developed a code word with him and his brother, that if he says a certain code word, the younger brother automatically knows what to do when the bigger brother uses a code word. If it's an emergency and it's this particular code word that they already pre-planned out, right? The little brother would have known what to do. It could have been balloons. You know, if I say balloons, or I say the word or the color blue, you ought to automatically run away from me across the street. You know, it could have been a code word like that, and those would have been the directions. All right. But again, like I said, take note of the close proximity, because it could be you that somebody walks up to. It could be a real gun and not a pipe in the hand. And the whole thing is, do you know what to do when somebody comes in close within arm's reach and points a gun at you? All right. And as you will see in this video, nobody really knows what to do. And some people weren't paying much attention at all. All right. And then you see the guy going in the store. I guess he does this still. He does his antics of pointing the pipe at everybody. He points in the street. All right. And there goes, from earlier, there goes the guy with the brown jacket who had his back turned the whole time when the guy was walking behind him. All right. That was earlier in the video. Now let's take a look at this. Now check this out. Boom. Right. Let's go back. There's another incident. All right, right there. Perfect. Now, again, if this was a real gun, first of all, this guy's not even paying attention to his surroundings at all. I think he's talking to a woman here, right? He's just talking to a woman at this time. And so his awareness is just pretty much down to zero. It's not even 50%. All right. It's not even 20%, not even 10%. And like I said, had this guy had a real gun, maybe he would have shot it. Maybe he wouldn't. Maybe just walking. If it was a real gun, he was walking around like that. He probably just wanted to show it off. But again, the main thing to look at is the awareness. Where's the awareness to this guy? All right. And the female, because I don't think she's seen anything and paid too much attention herself. Right. So that's another takeaway. Let's go back and then look at it again. As you see in the video, they're not paying much of attention at all. She has her hands up like they're just having a discussion. And look what happened. No attention at all. And then you'll see in this video, the guy turns back around, I think. Yep, he circles back. And then the guy starts running. See, he just has his hands up. So I don't know if he noticed. Let's go back a little bit. I don't know if he noticed. If the guy, after the fact, all right, he points something. All right, let me stop it right here. All right. So this guy here who has the pipe in his hand, he begins to point the pipe, and maybe at the guy who was running, but he probably pointed at him the first time, and then he started walking off, and then decided to kind of double back and point it back at him again. So maybe the guy noticed something in his hand and thought it was a gun the first time, and being that nothing happened to him, and then the guy walked off. Maybe he thought it was all over with. But you got to pay attention. If you're lucky that something like that happens to you and nobody pulls the trigger, or if it's somebody playing that type of game again, it might be somebody with a mental illness, and does that, you don't want to get caught out there the second time. All right. You definitely don't want to get caught out there a second time. So I'm gonna go ahead and play the video and just watch the reaction. Looks like he pointed it the first time. So the guy kind of drags himself, but then he's going to circle back. And now he's trying to get out the way the second time. You see that? And so that's pretty much the end of this video. I don't know if this is where the guy actually ends up getting shot here, or I don't know if this is where the police actually seen him and pointed the gun at the police and they opened fire. I don't know if that was the time or was some time later, but at some point the guy, I think it's, again, his name is Saeed Vassell, I think. At some point he does get shot by the police because they thought he had a real gun. So with that being said, let's look at some takeaways that you guys can learn from this video. All right. All right. What can we take away from this video to where we can put this in practice in our everyday lives? All right. Let's take a look at some things. First of all, let's talk about the awareness. All right. Being aware of your surroundings, your immediate area. All right. As you've seen in the video, he was able to walk up on several people, right? And they weren't aware of what's going on. Some were only aware at the last second when he would put the pipe in their face, and then their reaction was like, whoa, and that's all they could do. All right. So being aware of your immediate area is very important. There were some other people who had ample time, and they could have been looking around and watching what was going on, and could have took some actions way early before something like that would ever happen. All right. As you've seen, the older couple, I think there was sitting on a bench, and then the lady got up. They might have seen them from the distance, but their reaction was too slow, and it could have been because of their age. All right. But the lady seemed to get in the store quicker, and to a degree, I don't know if it was the guy's doing. The older guy who was with the lady, he let the lady go in first, so he was you can kind of look at it as she was being protected. So if something would have happened, it would have got the man. If it was a real gun, the man would have got shot, and you don't want anybody to get shot. But the lady would have been saved out of the both of them. But again, they had some ample time to see this guy from a distance, it appears, and so they started to try to make an action. And I'll give them that also for trying to make that effort to get out of harm's way. All right. So definitely be aware of what's going on in your immediate surroundings. All right. Within a half a block from you, or from both sides, 360 degrees around you. All right. In your immediate surroundings. Also, you've seen in the video where the guy and the girl was standing and talking, and the guy had his head just turned facing the woman, not even taking the time a second or two to just kind of look back and forth and even see something going on and see somebody coming, right? His head was turned and just paying attention to the woman, and the guy was able to walk right up on him, put his hand on his shoulder, and point the pipe like right at his chest. All right. Now imagine if that was a real gun and he decided to pull the trigger. That guy had no awareness skills whatsoever. All right. So be paying attention to what's going on around you in the immediate area. All right. Now, another thing is, as kind of a part two or part of being aware, is knowing what to look for. All right. People need to pay attention to what's in people's hands. All right. Even if it's a quick glance looking around, and what you should be looking is where their hands at. All right. Because your eyes can kill nobody. Your eyes can't harm anybody. Your elbows can't do anything to anybody. When you have a weapon in your hand, it's the hands that do something. All right. So what is the person doing with their hands? Is their hands in their pockets? Right? Is it behind their back? Are they holding something? If they're holding something, what is it that they're holding? They're holding a purse. They're holding a stick. They're holding a bat. All right. They're holding a shopping bag. They're holding a pipe in their hand that looks like a gun. Or are they holding a gun? Are they holding a knife? Pay attention to what's in people's hands. All right. In big cities, it gets tricky because people are literally walking shoulder to shoulder in all type of directions. So you have to be on your guard in situations where areas are crowded, on the street, inside buildings, whatever. You have to really pay attention to people's hands. All right. So that's another important thing to be looking for. All right. And so lastly, but not least, there's one more thing I'm going to talk about as well. But it's also important that you have a plan in place beforehand. All right. It can be something real simple. All right. It can just be something real simple as, if this happens, then I'll do this. Or you can practice what is called when and then thinking. When this happens, then I will do this. When that happens, then I will do that. All right. You can sit down in the comfort of your own home and just think of scenarios. When this happens, then I'll do this. So then when should the actual thing actually happen, then you have a plan already in your mind. Okay, when this happens, then I'm going to do this. So it's called when and then thinking. All right. So use that when you're at home and go through scenarios, or you can go look on YouTube and go through videos similar to like this one and start using the videos to help you train your mind what you're going to do. Use your when and then thinking. So when I see a person doing this, then I'm going to do that. All right. Another thing I meant to mention was the two kids. Like, I think it was the two brothers, the one with the red jacket and then the little one. Unfortunately, with kids, and it's important to teach kids personal safety, personal protection, awareness skills. All right. And get them into the when and then thinking part of planning. Sit them down at home and say, well, when this happens, what do you think you will do? And then kind of work with them and come up with some ideas on what they should do. And you might even want to practice those type of things, whatever you can at home, so it can kind of embed it in their mind. So they see something like this out in the street, it'll be kind of instinctive for them to take their actions that they need to take. All right. So like I said, this guy had a pipe, but what if this was a gun? He was pointing at people, walking up on them. Nobody's awareness, and some of them was just aware at the last second when it was like right there, then they jump out the way. So it's very important to be aware of your surroundings. All right. Also, as part of being aware of your surroundings, you got to look for things. And one of those things is, what are people's hands doing? Where are their hands going? What are their hands holding? All right. Got to be watching the hands, even if it's just for a second or two as you're walking. You can't it's not about being paranoid. It's just being calmly alert to what's going on around you in your immediate surroundings. Like I said, you can't be worrying about what's going on 5 blocks away, right? You got to be worrying about what's going on in your immediate area, all right, as you're walking. And it doesn't hurt to look as you're walking and talking, to kind of glance left and right, look around, maybe spin some, walk and turn around a little bit and continue. It's not about you being paranoid. It's about you being safe. All right. So lastly, which I'm not going to get too deep into, that's just another video altogether, or maybe even putting a course together to sell, is gun defenses. There was a few incidents when the guy, like I was mentioning earlier, that look how close he is to people with the pipe in his hand. All right. So the two kids, he was pretty close to them. The old man with the couple, he had the pipe close to them in his face. The guy that was standing with the girl, he just walked right up on him and like put the pipe right to his chest. And just imagine if it was a real gun and he stood there for a second, would they, or do you know what to do with somebody's that close to you? What type of defenses can you do towards somebody with a gun? All right. Putting it at your chest. Like I said, that was a pipe, but what if that was a gun? Would you know what to do within that close proximity of a weapon touching you? It was kind of different distances. Like I said, the couple had, when they was going to the store, the guy with the black jacket was still outside. He had the pipe pointed to him at a certain distance. Then the kids, he had the pipe pointed to them at a certain distance. He walked up to the guy who had his head just turned, and he just put it up on his chest. There was a couple of people who were walking, and at the last second, he just went up in their face with it. Right? Would you know what to do when it's within your arm's length? Would you know how to take care of something, a gun being pointed at you, or a pipe, or whatever? It could have been a stick, pipe in his hand. You still can get hit in the face with it. So would you know what to do in those situations? Again, like I said, that's more or less another video altogether, but it's something for you to think of and think about. All right. So with that being said, I hope this video was a benefit to you and it helped you out. It helped you be aware, a little bit more awareness minded on being looking around your immediate area and knowing what's going on in your immediate area. It doesn't have to be so far out, way down the street, or if you're in a building in a mall, you're worrying about what's going on way down the hallway, because there's something really bad was going on. You'll notice it after a while because people will start scrambling around and trying to get out of there. So you'll pick that up anyway. So what's going on in your immediate surroundings, your immediate area, the immediate area, and what are the hands doing? All right. So again, I appreciate you guys coming and checking the videos out on Survive and Protect. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. All right. You guys want to get some courses in regards to personal protection, go to surviveandprotectstore.com, surviveandprotectstore.com, or you can go to payhip.com/surviveandprotect. All right. I want everybody to start sharing these videos with your family, friends, co-workers, people who might have been talking about security, and some of these videos might have caught your mind, and you tell them about it. Send it to them on Facebook, send it to them on YouTube. All right. Mention it on Instagram, follow those pages. I want 150. I got 50 people now on the Facebook Survive and Protect page. Let's get it up to 150. All right. Follow me, Survive and Protect on Instagram. And I want some subscribers on YouTube on Survive and Protect. All right. So with that being said, I appreciate it again for y'all checking out Survive and Protect. Stay tuned for the next video coming soon. All right. Peace.